is presented by Tama Takoyaki Cafe. Located in between Guam Reef and Westin Hotel in Tumon, call them today at 648-TAMA. Hafa and welcome back. Chef Sean Brasel is the owner and executive chef of Miami Meat Market, and it's big in the Miami scene. Here's more on his visit to Guam and what you can expect at the upcoming event at the Lanai at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. Hailing from Miami's premier restaurant scene, Chef Sean Brasel is on island to showcase a three-course set menu at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. Brasel is the owner and executive chef of Miami Meat Market. He has won many awards to include Restaurateur of the Year at the Certified Angus Beef Convention. He has opened several restaurants across the globe, and he's competed on Food Network's Chopped and most recently Knife Fight on the Esquire Network. The talented chef says he's always wanted to be a cook.
When I was like 15, I started working at a restaurant as a dishwasher. And little did I know I was working under a certified master chef. And I just started cooking and I really enjoyed it.
Brasel would eventually go to school majoring in psychology and philosophy, but realized that he couldn't listen to people's problems.
I have to get back to food and using my hands and just creating stuff. I love cooking, I love food. I like to see the happiness of people if you make something they really enjoy.
Solidifying his decision, Brasel won a scholarship to Madeline Camen's School for American Chefs in Napa Valley.
I find cooking therapeutic. I find running a kitchen very chaotic. But I find, when I get to create specials or do dinners or, things like that where I can just create plates and experiment, I think it's really, quite zen-like.
Fast forward and Chef Brasel's Miami Meat Market is the talk of the town, affording guests a delectable experience.
What Meat Market, what I'm trying to do is incorporate a little bit of the crudo bar when you walk in, all the way to steaks, but it's not just a typical steakhouse. It's things that have been done with like bison, or we have a special steak of the day, we have mixed grills, and we have 5-6 creative specials of the day.
Well, beginning tonight and through Saturday, Chef Brasel will be showcasing an incredible three-course menu at the Hilton Lanai, something he's looking forward to, sharing with the island a little bit of Miami.
It's a challenge. I'm cooking in Guam, and it's basically a foreign kitchen to me, almost, still a foreign country. I've imported a lot of my beef products, so I've been trying to get all those cleaned up and set up. I'm doing a little kale Caesar salad with some panko breadcrumbs and some white anchovies. Then from there you get your entree, a little side, and then it's just going to be kind of like enjoying, out in this beautiful scenery of steaks and beer. This is a picanha steak, and the way I do a picanha is I do a 24-hour cure on it, and then we sous vide it also with a butter and a lot of flavor, and we cook that for 4 hours at 135, and then we heat it up in the broiler just to get a good char on it. The other thing here, the feature is this is a tenderloin steak. I marinated it in achiote, a lot of Mexican chilies, kind of create that barbecue-ish type of flavor without having like the Tennessee sweet barbecue.
It's an event that will not disappoint and is one that will definitely please the palate and satisfy steak lovers. The busy chef departs the island on Sunday, where he has already a packed schedule of events, including appearing on the Esquire culinary competition Knife Fight.
In the first part of December, I'm doing an event for the Palm Beach Food and Wine. It's called a Miami Takeover. So I have all the top Miami chefs coming to join me, and we're cooking a 5-course lunch.
Understanding that Guam has a thriving culinary community on island, he concluded the interview with a bit of advice for those aspiring to be the next top chef.
To the new chefs, you always have to be patient. You can't think that you can get on TV and you have to really work for what you want. And you have to be patient and study. And it really took me, I think, about 7 to 10 years in kitchens and staging around and keeping my mouth quiet and just learning and really absorbing what everybody has to teach. And I really went through a curve, and I think maybe it took longer for me. I'm Taurus, I'm a little stubborn, but you go through a curve where you start to learn a lot, and then you start to learn to the point where you think you know everything, and then you start to go to a point where you actually start to learn you know less than you thought you knew. Then you get to a point where, man, I don't know anything, And that's when you really start to absorb and learn. And sometimes it takes 15 to 20 years to realize that there's so much out there, and there's so many different things that are happening, between the fermentation that they're doing in Sweden, to make it through their seasons, or what somebody's doing in Spain with the molecular gastronomy, or what somebody else is doing in Mexico, and Peru has a big culinary thing. So, the biggest thing I think for young people is be patient and don't be cocky. Really, put in your dues and really absorb. Even if you learn one thing from one chef, that's one thing you may not have ever learned in your life. And it's really just learning from every restaurant and every place you go. In your mind, you learn what's a bad habit and what's a good habit. And as you progress forward, you learn, okay, good habit, You can just build who you want to be after you've seen everything there is to understand.
Chef Brasel will be at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa beginning tonight and ending Saturday evening at the Lanai from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. For reservations or more information, you can call 646-DINE. Stick around because after this quick timeout, Chris Barnett shares with us a great recipe using tulip. You're watching In the Mix.